And every single day of the Biden presidency, Americans were victimized. Americans were murdered. Women were raped. Children were brutalized by violent, criminal, illegal aliens that our federal government deliberately released into our community. The city of Chicago has been savaged by these policies. And I have to say, this hearing is a powerful illustration of the Democrats. They are AWOL. Every single chair on the Democrat side of the aisle is vacant, and they are representing beautifully what Democrat policy was for 4 years, protecting our communities. A year ago, in January, President Trump came into office. And the result was stunning. This invasion ended not in a year, not in 6 months, but overnight. One year ago this month, the American people delivered a political earthquake, casting off the disaster of the Biden-Harris Democrat administration. There were many aspects in which their policies were harmful, but none more so than 4 years of open borders, more than 12 million people coming illegally into this country, 3 million gotaways. Gotaways, we know, are statistically much more likely to be criminals, to be murderers, to be rapists, to be child molesters, to be gang members, to be terrorists. It was not accidental, it was deliberate. And every single day of the Biden presidency, Americans were victimized. Americans were murdered. Women were raped. Children were brutalized by violent, criminal, illegal aliens that our federal government deliberately released into our communities. Ms. Carter Walters, you pointed out, the city of Chicago has been savaged by these policies. And I have to say, this hearing is a powerful illustration of the Democrats. They are AWOL. Every single chair on the Democrat side of the aisle is vacant, and they are representing beautifully what Democrat policy was for 4 years, protecting our communities. My home state of Texas saw a greater invasion than any state in the country. Now, a year ago, in January, President Trump came into office. And the result was stunning. This invasion ended not in a year, not in 6 months, but overnight. Illegal border crossings dropped more than 99%. Instantaneously. All three of us were at the State of the Union address where President Trump pointed out, he said a year ago, Joe Biden said he could not secure the border without new legislation from Congress. Now we've seen illegal border crossings drop 99%. As Trump said, it turns out we didn't need new legislation, we just needed a new president. We needed a president who would follow the damn law and not release violent criminals into our communities. Sheriff Boyd, it's good to see you. You're the sheriff of Goliad County in South Texas. You lead Operation Lone Star. Tell us the difference between right now with an administration that follows the law and the preceding 4 years with an administration that released violent criminals in your county and every community across the country.
It's night and day, Senator. The quality of life for the people of South Texas has drastically improved. And you're absolutely right. The numbers show it. Turns out you didn't need new laws. All you needed to do was have the right people in charge and free up Border Patrol to do what it is that they love to do, and that's protect America. And under the leadership of Border Patrol Chief Mike Banks, they have gone out and done exactly that. And it has made a world of difference in our lives. We went from arresting smugglers on a regular basis in my small rural county We arrested from 2021 to 2024, we arrested 98 people for smuggling and over 120 people for engaging in organized criminal activity directly tied to the Mexican cartels. We're no longer catching people for smuggling because it's hard to smuggle what Border Patrol won't let across the river.
For the first time in modern history, for the past 6 months, not a single alien apprehended at the border has been released into the interior. Sheriff, has the zero release policy dramatically reduced the burden on your deputies and on your county?
Yes, sir, it has.
ICE conducted over 100,000 arrests. Arrests of murderers, of rapists, of child predators, of gang members. And beyond them, the gang captains and cartel operatives who spread violence in our communities like a plague. We are systematically apprehending the predators who roamed free deliberately under the Democrats' policy. Sheriff Boyd, in Goliad County, is your county and is South Texas safer with these arrests and these violent criminals being deported?
It is. In the last 3 weeks alone, we've been working a joint operation with ICE and Border Patrol. We've picked up 54 people detained for ICE that were in this country illegally. 11 of those had a criminal history here in the United States of America. 9 of those had been previously deported. And so it has made a world of difference. We've focused from what's coming in to getting what's already here and getting it out.
You know, and I got to say what is amazing. A year into it, the Democrats could have come together and say, you know what, we heard the American people at the ballot box a year ago. We heard that they didn't like violent criminals being released in our communities. They could have showed up at this hearing and said, okay, it was a mistake to order to ignore federal immigration law and release criminals. You know what they did instead? Instead, the Democrat base is protesting right now for open borders. Is saying, we want to go back to open borders. We want the invasion. Put the next poster up. We want the invasion to come back. It is difficult to think of a policy that is more harmful to our communities than releasing violent criminals into our communities. And I, for one, am glad we have an administration that will now enforce the law and keep our communities safe. Thank you to each of the witnesses. Thank you for the work you're doing. I hope and pray we will never go back to another administration that for partisan political purposes says, we're going to release gang members and murderers and rapists into your community, and we're going to look the other way as Americans are murdered and sexually assaulted. I hope that never again that happens. Thank you.